Hey everybody, it's Dave here again with Blue Bears Games. Today's episode will be Crackin Packs. The set we're going to be opening today is Theros Beyond Death. It's not the greatest set to crack open. It's not the most exciting to watch. However, I here at Blue Bears Games open things up based upon need. Need for decks so that I can make deck videos and what have you. Theros Beyond Death actually has for Commander quite a bit of good stuff that you can use. So there's too many to name here. I have one main target in mind specifically, and it's not even the most expensive stuff in the set. It's one of the higher ones, but it's not like, it's not a Euro or Uro or Uro or whatever the hell you want to call them. It's actually the Dryad of the Elysian Grove. He's the main target for today. However, I do also need other things. Nadir Krakens for some deck, for a deck. I do need another Euro or Uro or Euro or whatever you want to call them for another deck. So there's plenty of reasoning that I need to open up Theros Beyond Death. The one thing I don't need, however, is the stupid lands. So let's go ahead and start and hope that I get very few of those stupid lands and the rest comes up. I need Ashiok. There's a lot that I need. So let's start out here and hope that I don't get the lands and hope I do get the other stuff. Alright, so we got a Foil Elite Inspector, and this is one of the cards I needed. So our first pack is a good one. It's the Heliod Sun Crown. And the reason why I need Heliod is Heliod enables quite a few infinite combos, specifically when it comes to certain creatures. So if you don't know what they are, I have them actually in my Alayla deck, the actual first combo, and it's a good one. It actually can happen on turn 2 if you do it right. So it's Walking Ballista with Heliod. There's also other iterations of exactly the same combo, but a little slower. So, that's a good start. I need Ashiok for the one that produces, I believe it's this specifically, this token. Alright, up next, Enigmatic Incarnation. You know what? I didn't read off Heliod to you. You should know what it is by now. This set's old enough. Blue, green 2. Do I need this for anything? At the beginning of the end step, you may sacrifice an enchantment. Nah, it doesn't do anything for me. Alright. Alright, let's see what else we got in here. Nothing. As far as the uncommons go, there are a couple I can use. Not a lot, but for this specific purpose, I need mostly rares and mythics, like almost everybody else. So let's keep the train rolling and hope that I get a couple more. So right off the bat, I got one of the lesser ones I needed. I didn't need the Heliod. A foil Constellation Annex, and a Gravebreaker to Lamia. I actually have this in my whatchamacallit deck, my Muldrotha deck. It's a 5 to cast 4/4 with lifelink, and it enters the battlefield. Search your library for a card, put it in your graveyard, then shuffle your library. And the important part is spells you cast from your graveyard cost 1 less to cast, so that goes great in Muldrotha. Field of Ruin is okay. It's one of the to me, it's one of the worst land destruction lands out there. There's so many better, and only because given the ability. And remember, I'm coming from a standpoint of Commander only. I don't do any of the other ones anymore. Giving all of your opponents the ability to get a land, no bueno. All right. Alright, War Break Hippocamp doesn't do anything for me, so that's not a good one. Daxos is good for budget decks, by the way. It's part of the Soul Sisters that you can use, so if you have a Soul Sisters deck, he fills a spot too. So you get redundancy if Rogue Existence works, that's good too. Alright. Alright. And that is trash. I like getting the lands too. Shatter the Sky. 4 to cast. Each player who controls a creature with power 4 or greater draws a card, then destroys all creatures. So, you'll have to excuse me. I also have a small cold. I'm on the back end of it. I actually waited extremely long to film this one because I didn't want to be coughing in the video. I do like Omens and Omen of the Sea. I like for the most part the most. It's great in a lot of different decks if you're looking for permanent style draw, and that brings me to Madratha again. I have it in there. I would like to get a foil one to replace the regular one, just, you know. So there is a common I could use in here, but it has to be a foil. Alright, token, land, the Crone War. Wow, is that off? Talk about being off. Let me see if I can get this in the light. That is way off. Interesting. That foil stamp is like all the way to the left. It's so far off. It's a crappy rare though. Alright, let me see what else I got here. Nothing, nothing, and nothing. And Hero of the Pride is good for budget cat decks. Omen of the Dead is good for budget decks. If you're looking for permanents to do stuff for you. So, yeah. Alright. Temple is a waste. So that's basically a waste of a pack. Alright, so this pack had 2 omens in it, and that was the best thing out of it. How sad is that? Yeah, temples, again, they go in budget decks going forward. I found a use for them as one of the rare slots, since that's what Wizards does, is put them in their precons, so that's where mine go. Ooh, that's nice and shiny. And, oh look, another temple. So, another waste of a pack other than the fact that I got a foil land out of it. So, isn't that nice? 2 in a row. I asked for none, I got 2 in a row. Come on, Dryad. It's a rare, it's not even a mythic. I need it for my 5-color deck. Alright, Dalikos, Crafter of Wonders. Let me read him real quick. So, 3 to cast for a 2/4, so that's good. Taps to add 2 colorless, and it only can be used to cast artifact or activate abilities of artifacts, and equips creatures you control of flying haste. I'm wondering if that can be made into a budget commander deck, actually. Specifically that one. Phalanx Tactics is actually a really good card, too. I think I did put this into one of the budget decks. I believe it was Feather. So target creature you control gets +2/+1, and then each other creature you control gets +1/+1. So that did go into a deck that was, you know, it's a superstar in that deck, to be honest with you. Alright, next. There's a lot of filler in Theros Beyond Death, but some of the cards that are good are really good. Alright, Minions Return Foil and an Ideal Tutor. This was on my list of my short list of things that excuse me, if I pulled, I wouldn't be mad. So search your library for an enchantment, reveal it, and put it into your hand. I did put this in my 5-color deck, and it was the only one I had. So having another one for other decks, I do have a Layla built, and it is enchantments. So I have some changes that I'm going to make to a Layla. I actually have changes I'm going to make to every deck that I already have videos on. So opening some stuff up and getting more copies of things that I would need is helpful. Alright, so the full rare is Atris Oracle of Half-Truths. So it's black, blue, and 2. It's a 3/2 menace. It's a legendary creature, so this may be a possibility for a commander deck as well. When it enters the battlefield, target opponent looks at the top 3 cards of their library, and separates them into a face-down pile and a face-up pile. Put 1 pile into your hand and the other into your graveyard. So, and this is one of the other cards on my short list of things that I wanted to pull. An Underworld Breach. 2 to cast, and each non-land card in your graveyard has escape, and the escape cost is equal to its mana cost, plus exile 3 other cards. I'm not sure if I put this. I have 2 decks I can use Underworld Breach in. I don't believe I had to, and if I did, I didn't put it in anything else. So, the first one is Perforos, because everything he does is cast, you know, instants to put tokens into play. And into Nikusar, because well, you got to be able to cast 2 wheels over and over again. Alright, Tectonic Giant is nothing for me, so that's a waste of a pack for me. Gray Merchant is always good to pull. Pretty bad that the uncommon was worth more to me than the rare. Throw of Possibility, you know, goes into a lot of decks that I can use. So, alright, third of the way through, guys, and gals, and everything in between. Alright, let's take a look here. A Crackin token, that's just, you know, foil, Dread of Mountain's Blaze, and Ashiok's Erasure. If it was Ashiok, I'd be happy. It's not, so I'm not. Vanishing Light goes into budget decks. Alright. Let's keep going. Another Crackin, or it's a Tentacle. Alright. Dream Trawler, some people like this card. I have nothing I can do with it as far as what I'm doing with my decks. There might be a time when I can. The time is not now. I might be happy about that later that I pulled it. Who knows? Omen of the Forge. This is good for a Layla style decks because it's an enchantment and it nullifies somebody's commander. Alright. Come on, I just need one Dryad because I really want to get the Golos 5-color deck done. I'm 4 cards short, and one of the cards is in this particular set. Another 4 rare, Elspeth Conquers Death. Horrible card. So that's worth nothing, and Storm's Wrath is, you know, printed almost exactly the same thing in an uncommon in a previous set. So, Destiny Spinner, nope. So, my ability to pull the rares I really need, not so good. The ones to pull, the ones that I kind of need, but, you know, I don't need them right away. Not, you know, fantastic. Croxa wasn't a Euro, so that doesn't help me. I don't think Croxa is actually worth using at all for anything. Sure, it's 2 to cast 6/6, but its other ability, like, so whenever it enters the battlefield or attacks, each opponent discards a card, then each opponent who didn't discard a card this way loses 3 life. In Commander, specifically, like, I could see why this would be good in other formats, like 60-card formats. But as far as Commander, almost everybody that plays Commander plays card draw. So getting somebody's hand down below 5, unless they're doing it wrong, it's kind of a tricky situation. It's not really easy to take. Oh, there we go. Pulled the first card on my list. Ashiok. I don't have one. I do have. So I currently have Aloro built as Super Friends Planeswalkers. However, I did go ahead and trade for an Atraxa. So Aloro is going to be changed out to something else, and Atraxa is going to be turned into Super Friends, and I needed an Ashiok Nightmare Muse to build the deck, or at least it was supposed to go in Aloro originally. So that's good. So that's one. I also have something to tell you about this card right here. So, you guys, this is a good tip for you guys when it comes to building Commander decks. Some of the higher monetary valued equipments that protect your Commander, they all use Hexproof or Shroud, so Lightning Greaves and Swiftfoot Boots. Mirror Shield, for a complete steal, is also an option. So it gives the creature +0/+2, and Hexproof. It also has the ability to kill a creature with Death Touch if it blocks or is blocked by it. So it kind of, you know, takes that into consideration. It's 2 to cast, just like the Boots, just like the Greaves. Its only downfall is it's 2 to equip. However, it still gives that hexproof. So, little monetary saving tip for you guys who are out there building decks and you're like, I need to protect my... There you go. There's your protection for your commander on a real budget. So, the more of them I get, the more protection is going to happen in budget decks I make for you guys. Regular interest, that doesn't do anything for me because I didn't care about getting the foil one, so why would I care about getting the normal one? I'm not a fan of that. Maybe it's possible to make that into a blue-black, deck, but I don't know. not really my style, if there is such a thing. Waste of a pack, because it's, you know, a temple, so that goes into a budget deck that I make that might ever be blue-white, because blue-white is oh so much fun to build and play when you're doing commander colors. I used to be a big fan of blue-white control. That was for 60 guard. Definitely not for commander. There is no... I mean, yeah, it's good if you do it right. Erebos' intervention does nothing for me either. Blue-white can be good. I just, you know, the commander options for blue-white, specifically when you're doing budget, they're just boring. There's no excitement to them. I don't like them. Come on, one Dryad. One Dryad. Nope. Citizen Champion. 3 to cast 1/3. Whenever enchantment enters the battlefield under control, put a +1/+1 counter on it. Nah, it doesn't do anything for me either. Maybe in a budget situation possible. But no, nothing there. Okay. Alright. Almost 2/3 of the way through. One Dryad. Maybe a Euro. I got the Ashiok, so that was good. But the Dryad, maybe... Oh, come on. 4 temples out of a box? I mean, that's just crap. You know, I've said this in many videos. Temples. Worst possible scenario of putting in a rare spot. Those are uncommon at best. They upshift and downshift so often. Why is that not an uncommon? Foil Destiny Spinner and Timuret Calls the Dead, so dead pack for me here as well. This pack makes me 2/3 of the way through, and I still have only gotten maybe one of the cards I desperately need to fill for decks. Alright, so I did say in the beginning, the Kraken, as stupid as it sounds, I kind of want this for a deck I have. It's because whenever you draw a card, you have the ability to do 2 things at once for 1. So it's 3 to cast for a 2/3, so it's okay on the mana to power toughness ratio. The ability is whenever you draw a card, you can pay 1, and if you do, you put a +1/+1 counter on the Dear Kraken, and then you create a 1/1 blue tentacle token, creature token. So it does a couple things. I have a couple ideas with that I want to use. I have one, but I didn't want to put one in the deck try and then not have it for another one. Ichthyomorphosis is good for commander. It enchants a creature and makes it lose all abilities and turns it into an 0/1, so good for commander. For your opponent's commanders. Alright, so that was one that I was on my, you know, secondary list. I need more on my prime, my prime list. Come on. Come on. No. Alright, Eat to Extinction. Exile target creature or planeswalker. Look at the top card of your library. You may put that card in your graveyard. So, it's a cheaper to cast targeted... It's exile target creature or planeswalker, so it's not horrible. I don't think I even have one of those until now. Glimpse of Freedom. Alright, and nothing here. Come on, where's my green? I haven't seen much of the green that's good. There's so much good green in this set. Grim Physician, and of course, I get a green. I asked for a green, but I got the crappiest green card probably ever printed. This makes no sense. This card does nothing for anything. Nobody plays it. Nobody ever will play it. It would be better taking a crap on it. Alright. Then wiping my butt with it afterwards. Jesus. And yes, I'm getting frustrated. Because I just need one. There it is. Thank you. Okay. This is the only card I cared about. Because I need to put it in a 5-color deck. I need this and a Chromatic Lantern to put in there. Without it, I can't run the deck. So here's why it's important. For a 5-color deck, it's 3 to cast for 2/4. So great stats for its power and toughness. It's an enchantment creature. You may play an additional land on each of your turns. So that's great. And then lands you control are every basic land type in addition to their other types. So in other words, they can tap for any color. So, thank you. That's all I cared about out of this entire box. The rest of it's just collateral now. You know, it's icing on the cake. Thank you. And I wouldn't be mad if he gave me another one, because I definitely could use it in another deck, that's for sure. I'd like to put 2 5-color decks together, but I can't do it if I can't get the first one done. Alright. Gallia of the Endless Dance is the Satyr Lord. Gives him +1/+1. And maybe for a budget deck one day I'll do a Satyr deck. However, there aren't enough Satyrs out there. Or at least good ones anyway. There are some, they're just not good. Not good enough to do an entire deck on. Alright, so I can calm down now. Now, let's see. Is there anything else that I'd want? Maybe I'll just let it surprise me. Island of Obstruction is 2 to cast, 2/1 first strike. Loyalty abilities of planeswalkers your opponents control cost 1 more to activate. This is actually a good card. So you have to pay 1 each time you want to activate a loyalty ability for your opponents. So this goes great in something that has white and is itself a planeswalker deck, because it doesn't affect you. So that's actually a surprise. I don't have one. That's the first one I opened, so that's not bad. That's actually a cool looking card, by the way. It's not a great card, but it's a cool looking one. Alright, Traveler's Amulets are always good to get. I always like to do... Oh, I want a Nyx... Yeah, that's what I want. I want a Nyx Born of the Ancient. That's what I want. I'm not going to get it, but I haven't opened one yet. I think I've opened 2 or 3 of these boxes since I got them. I haven't opened one yet. And woohoo, 5th Temple, because, you know, I needed more of them. That's great. Thanks, guys. I said 0 temples. I got 5. Of all the things that I could have opened, that was the worst. I said Nyxborn, or Nyxbloom, whatever the hell it's called. There it is! Hey! Ask and ye shall receive. Alright, so now this box officially turned into the best box I've opened yet. Alright, Nyxbloom Ancient. 3 green, 4 Veni, enchantment creature, elemental. It's a 5/5 with trample. Don't care about any of that. If you tap a permanent for mana, it produces 3 times as much of that mana instead. That gives the thumbs up, and I'm gonna, you know, I've learned how to do some new things on my my video editing, so that's gonna get a huge thumbs up put into here. I'm gonna overlay that in there, and you guys are gonna see that because I'm starting to do some new stuff with my videos, and that's gonna get a big thumbs up. So you're going to start to see the tones change. You're going to start seeing a lot of different things. Elspeth Conquers Death is a crap rare. The only thing that makes this worth anything at all is the fact that the full stamp is off, and some people are into that. Myself not included. This card right here, I think it's the first one I opened in this box. This card is so versatile. You can make this its own deck as far as Commander goes. You can put it in any green deck, because most green decks use green creatures in general. This is the most versatile card probably in Commander for green. It can make any deck better. Under the Phalanx Tactics, it's just one of my favorite cards because you can make it the Commander. You can put it in a Commander deck that is green. I mean, it just has so many things you can do. It fuels decks like you wouldn't believe. I even have it in my Slimefoot deck. It's the only it's one of the very few non-fungus in there. Mantle of the Wolf, this was a bad rare to make. 4 to cast, it gives the creature +4/+4, and when it's put in the graveyard from the battlefield, create 2 green wolf creature tokens. I mean, budget decks actually can use that. I have, you know, something going on right now where people are. I have a poll of what next budget deck I should do a video on. And so far, my surprising answer has been that the one I thought was going to be the least in the lead is in the lead. Nessian Boar, it's a 10, it's a 5. Hey, that's a great option to put into the Lich Lord, the Golgari Lich Lord, because it has a 10 power for 5. All creatures able to block it must do so, and whenever it becomes blocked by a creature, that creature's control draws a card. Hold on. I may be able to make a switch on the Jared deck. This guy can go in there. Okay, so that's good for my budget deck. I kind of like that. That's not bad, actually. Anything that's cheap enough to cast and has a high power like that, I was looking for. And I didn't find that. I guess I didn't open one. So, alright. Now, this, again, Theros Beyond Death. It's slowly becoming one of the better packs for me to open. All right, Sleep of the Dead is the foil, and Shadow Spear. This is also on the list, on the primary list. I did trade one recently away because I bought the Secret Layers, and because it was delayed, they gave me a collector's edition Theros Beyond Death booster, and I got the full art one of these, but it wasn't foil. I traded the regular one away, and I regretted it afterwards, but I needed some of the cards that I got, so now I replaced it. So good. This box is starting to really pan out. What I was saying earlier, I'm starting to learn how to do better editing, so there's going to be more production value coming into these. I can't change anything about the actual video itself, but I can, the edits afterwards, I can change. So you'll start to see that as you go. I'm going to show you the first one. Oh, and the last card on my list, actually, I believe was the Nyx Lotus. So the last pack I opened, it was a Nyx Lotus, and I have decks that can use that as well. And a Grey Merchant. So the last pack actually made me even happier than I thought it was going to be. So I'll go through some of the stuff that I think I'm missing a couple cards from the list, but not many. I mean, I wanted one of those. I wanted one of those. Definitely wanted that, and I 110% wanted that. So as far as the deck as far as this box goes, yeah, I mean, there's no Uro, whatever you want to call them. I mean, that just makes it so that the box isn't monetarily the same as I was hoping. But as far as stuff I needed, this box actually delivered most of what I needed. I don't need a Euro. I do, however, want one for other decks. I need that for a deck. That's just cool to have. So it is what it is. Idyllic Tutor is one of those things where I have ideas I can use with it. Underworld Breach I needed. Ashiok I needed. A Nadir Kraken I wanted for ideas. I need 3 of these. I wanted to try this in the same deck, so that's great. Needed one of those, and I have a use for one of these. So this box, monetarily, while it may not have been the best, I mean, I got, the Heliod itself is, it's, what do they call them, stargazing. So that's great right off the bat. It's a stargazing version, so it's probably a couple bucks more, not much. But monetarily speaking, I mean, the Nyx Bloom Ancient, the Dryad, and the Ashiok may have actually covered most of the cost of the box. So, and remember, I don't get these for full pop. I mean, I do pay a little less for them, but either way, so that was a great set of pulls. Not horrible for, the box had a lot of crap in it, like temples, and my personal opinion is those temples are just a slap in the face in the rare slot. To get 5 of them in a box means that you've lost a fifth of your box to crap dollar bin rares. What I was saying earlier, though, I wanted to go over that with you guys, was I'm changing up some of the stuff that's going on with the channel. What I say that is, I have a bunch of videos I pre-recorded in the old style for unboxings and such. I'm changing up the way I'm doing things, so starting with this, not with this video so much, but starting with one of the videos that I have pre-made, I'm testing some new features out. And you're going to start seeing some differences in some of the videos. Hopefully they're going to be better quality for you guys. There's going to be some production value, some stuff you're going to see, some overlaying and stuff like that. So hopefully that makes the videos more pleasant for you guys to watch and more enjoyable. With that being said, I have a whole bunch of videos made, a whole bunch of videos to make, and they're all going to improve as time goes on. I'm recording this a little bit ahead of time in the process of me changing things out. You'll start to notice that the thumbnails that you guys click on to see the video, they're going to start improving. I was told that I have a much better look to them in the new style, so I'm going to start to utilize that and use that in all the videos that I do. But I mean, it's a process. It's a change that's going to take time. So you'll start to notice a transformation of the channel as you will. So anyway, without going too far into it, that's going to make the video go way too long. Anyway, that was Theros Beyond Death. I got exactly what I wanted out of the box, which is the first. as I always ask you guys to do, please like, subscribe, share. So like the video. It's an encouraging thing. Getting a thumbs down on any video is so discouraging. It just makes you want to punch people. Share, please. You know, we have so many outlets that you can share to. I want to get this out there so I don't want to become one of the big guys, but I would like to be in the medium range. I don't want to be one of those guys that somebody says, oh, another wasted channel. Because I did have that, and, you know, again, it makes you want to punch them in the face. So I'd like the encouragement rather than discouragement. So, share them out. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, I don't care what. Do it, please. It's helpful. I do it on my own. It's not enough, just one person. And subscribe. For all those folks that are newer, I appreciate over the last couple weeks, well, as of this video, I had 20 new subscribers in a 2-week span. You guys are awesome. I love you. Love seeing that. Keep it coming. Keep it rolling. Let's get up to at least the 200 mark by the end of the next month, I'm hoping. And that's about all I got for you. Until next time, this is Dave saying thanks for watching. Have a good one.